It was the mid-1990s, and the Marble Institute of America was struggling financially. The bank account showed a meager balance, and the association deeply in debt. In addition, MIA, plagued with declining membership, was transitioning to a new executive director and moving the headquarters from Detroit to Columbus, Ohio. Its current president had just undergone serious surgery and was forced to resign. MIA was definitely in trouble, and there was genuine concern for the prospects of long-term survival. In stepped Terry O'Neill.
When you look and you have $12,000 and you have $125,000 in debt, begins to scare you.
As operator of a small stone company in Pittsburgh, Columbia Marble Company, Terry O'Neill felt he was well prepared for the challenge. He was, as things turned out, the right man at the right time. And we're here today largely because of his efforts.
What basically happened is that because I'm a mom and pop shop, I think we understand a little bit better that you do most things by yourself. So the simple solution is that we basically didn't do anything. We had to pull our wings in, try to survive until we could find revenue and whatever to continue.
The fact that O'Neill was in the stone business in the first place was again an example of fate at work. In 1975, his wife Joanne wanted to return to the Pittsburgh area from Newport News, Virginia, where O'Neill was working for a dry dock company. At the time, Terry was attempting to obtain new employment with Westinghouse. They had a hiring freeze in place, but were so interested in O'Neill, the company urged him to move to Pittsburgh so he would be in place when the freeze ended.
So I came up here, and Joanne's father actually had started the business. So he said, why don't you come to work for me for a while until this job opens up. And 2 years after I started working here, Westinghouse gave us the call, but it was too late. I'd already been hooked on the marble business.
Which eventually turned out to be a good thing for Columbia Marble and for MIA. One of the things that put MIA in jeopardy in the first place was the printing contract for the association's Dimension Stones of the World color plate book, which largely contributed to its debt. The original book cost over $500,000 to print, and MIA simply did not have the money to produce the second issue.
Right over here behind my building is a printer, and I've known the guy for quite some time, and I asked him, you know, why this book should cost so much.
The printer looked over the project and surprised O'Neill with a quote of $112,000, with payments due as the new editions were sold.
Although it was slow, it trickled in. I think there were 2,000 issues, and it wasn't like we sold 2,000 overnight, but we did well enough that helped a little bit in the revenue stream.
Always a hands-on guy, O'Neill stepped in and quickly handled the transition of getting the new director on board.
At that time, we had to move the office, so I drove with her to Detroit, and we packed up the then Marble Institute of America office and drove it back to Columbus and helped her move in. The Marble Institute basically had a convention, and Stone Expo had an exposition. Both were very costly to both parties, so we just got together and decided that we would have our convention at the same time Stone Expo had their exposition, and we would share in the profits from Stone Expo's portion of the meeting.
With this arrangement, MIA was virtually saved with the check it received the first year.
I think the Marble Institute was presented with a check for $75,000.
There was another major factor in the recovery, O'Neill recalls.
As fate would have it, we entered into the second stone revolution, where stone became very popular.
And a lot of newcomers entered the business.
A lot of them began to join. The Marble Institute has always been very prestigious. To be able to say that they were members of the Marble Institute gave them credence and credibility.
O'Neill says the combination of the merger between MIA and Stone Expo and expansion of the stone business were two of the defining points in the turnaround.
That's the reason that people say that Terry saved the Marble Institute, and I really didn't. I was the right man at the right time. I was there, I know what needed to be done, and was able to do it. We're a mom and pop shop who happened to be at the right place at the right time. So. it's been fun.
Terry O'Neill and his wife Joanne have been running Columbia Marble Company for many years, since his game-saving performance in the mid-90s. For his rescue and rebuilding of the MIA, and his long-term and ongoing support of the MIA and the natural stone industry, the Marble Institute of America is proud to present Terry O'Neill with the prestigious 2009 Migliori Award for Lifetime Achievement.